got that running. Apparently I don't have my phone in here, so I can't pull up the stream that way. That would be too easy. On here, hopefully my internet connection won't. But I'm trying to do this at the same time. Yes, we are streaming, we are live, and we are, of course, as usual, having issues. The question is whether or not the stream can see the issue. No. Yeah, on YouTube it looks right. It's correct on YouTube. Okay, so... Can you hear me? Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's just Zoom, because it comes up right on, yeah, I checked YouTube as well at the same time you were. I'll check one more spot. Looking, I'll check Twitch real fast. Checked out real quick, but that is strange that Zoom is basically mirroring the image. I'll not gonna do that. Okay, Twitch wants me to do the two-factor authentication stuff. I'm not gonna mess with that. It's good enough. Yeah, it's only Zoom. So now the question is setting over here real quick. Yeah, don't care about HD. Oh no, don't do that. There. Okay. Check that. See, now the crazy part is it probably looks correct to you guys. Hey, Stringer. It probably looks good for you guys on your side now, but now it looks mirrored on my screen. Oh, still mirrored? Oh, well, okay. Stand by. I'll be right back. Okay. How's that? Does it change anything? Is it any different now? You guys say? Okay. That's just weird. See, there is a setting in Zoom to mirror the image, and I did that. I flipped it from my side, but apparently it didn't change what you guys see. That's just messed up. Alright, well, whatever. Okay. As long as you can hear me. And, oh, I wonder, can I hear you guys on the stream? I didn't check that part. What did somebody say? Apparently not. Because they can't. I tell you. One of these days I'll get this figured out and it will just work first time. Oh, not I. Alright. So, give me just a moment, gentlemen. For some reason, I was on 3. Okay, somebody say something for me?
No.
No. That works. Alright. Now the people at home can see you now, can hear you now. Well, they can see Impulse. Okay, so yeah, I can see, I can hear you.
Out of context,
Excellent.
that's kind of creepy.
Can't Alright. Okay. So, as long as you can still hear me, if I don't say anything for a minute, you guys gotta let me know, because I don't know if that works fixed or not. Hopefully it is. I changed the way the mics are plugged in, so hopefully that's fixed. I think I had a bad USB hub, but we'll see. I'm actually still using it for something, so we'll just see what happens.
Yeah, blame the USB hub.
Oh yeah. Oh, of course. What else am I gonna blame? Let's see. Okay. So, when last we left everybody, we were doing something. No, I don't know. Okay. Well, I am trying to prepare a couple more things yet to get moving. One of these times, I just need to start like an hour and a half before the stream, apparently. Because I never quite, no matter how early I start, I seem to not have quite enough time to be ready. Would someone give
We've
us
been
a
checking
recap?
out Robert Roberts.
Right.
I went in.
That's yes.
So I
Thank you.
looked at the internal security.
Yep, you went into their offices, you got all the way into the executive offices, you signed a contract with them to print from them exclusively for a term that you didn't look at. Let's see. What else? In Impulse, you checked out the dock and the security there.
Yeah, I checked out. Yeah. And also like the security sort of like in the mall, you know, for the back, like
Right.
you know, like the back corridors.
Right. And I know Marcellus' brother, the Netrunner, was going to be checked into some things and found out that they didn't have a data fortress in the net per se. They only had advertising and rental and purchase listings and all that stuff.
Fucking Christ.
They didn't have their actual back end on the net. All right.
God, and I'm being on Chrome. I'm being plagued with these push ads. They keep coming out the side. The only trouble is, I've just spent an hour and a half Googling how to get rid of this fucker, and every single place that tells you how to get rid of it that doesn't involve download our software
Right.
tells me to click onto the Chrome settings, click on advanced, and at the towards the bottom of that, there'll be a thing that you can go to, press this, and you can then tell it to stop push-up notifications. Only when I go to Chrome settings, that thing that you then use to stop it doesn't exist.
Well, that's odd.
Yeah.
Did you try turning off your extensions and things like that? Make sure there's nothing that might be affecting it. There may be an extension that's affecting your ability to turn on and off push notifications.
Yeah, I don't know about extensions.
Might look at those too. But
yeah, but I've got a thing, you know, to stop notifications from specific sites. And I've typed in the name of the site. Hasn't stopped a fucking thing from that site.
well, that's why I'm wondering if it's actually not regular notification, if it's coming to you some other way.
Hmm.
But
But it keeps popping up in the bottom left corner, and it goes ding when it turns up.
That's
And it used to be 2 or 3 a day. Now it's pushing 4 or 5 at once. But this is only after I've had the notification that Chrome are changing their policies. Which one of the changes they seem to be making is we are going to allow you to be fucked over by malicious adware.
well, I don't know.
But now my ad blockers don't work on YouTube either.
Yeah, see, that's why they want to upgrade. They want you to see all of the ads.
Yep. First, they want you to see. No, I don't know. I haven't had any trouble with it so far. You know, finding some wood in here to knock on with the difficulty. But,
Yeah, I think
yeah,
I might
maybe
be
up here. But yeah.
switching to Firefox because these pop-ups don't happen when I use Edge. So I might switch to Firefox and see if that will block the ads on YouTube.
Well, if nothing else, you might try too. There's a thing in Chrome where you can reset it completely to like resetting it to factory defaults kind of a thing, and see if that takes care of it. There's something in there, some setting got posed.
Yeah, I've seen that reset. As long as that doesn't affect my bookmarks.
You probably want to export your bookmarks first.
Yeah. So that is something that's very easy to do with Internet Explorer. With Chrome, I'm gonna have to Google where the fucking hell they are.
It's not. I don't think it's hard to do there either.
Yeah.
But back to Cyberpunk. If we could. I'm sorry that that's got to be annoying for you. But as far as Robert Roberts go, what you guys want to do next?
I don't know how we're going to get. I don't know how we're going to get past their security. I haven't a clue. I mean, the key card to open the lift, no problem. We can probably copy or steal a key card somehow. But once you get in the lift, and a person, not a computer, but a person, speaks to you on a vid phone, and you have to give the correct reply and have the right face.
Well, you wouldn't want it to be too easy, would you?
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be boring. If everything was just easy.
That bit, I don't know how we can get past. I mean, maybe Marcellus's brother has some ideas, but...
Or we just bypass the elevator and, like, climb up.
Try and go in via the roof, maybe?
I don't think the roof will be possible, because that was one of the things I was looking out for before, was sort of adjacent buildings that could be used. Otherwise, we're going to be, literally just scaling the side of the mall, and I don't think that's going to work.
No.
And just to remember, the top floors are all residential. The bottom floors for the mall, and then there's the floor in between that is Robert Roberts. So if you actually went all the way to the roof, you'd have several floors of residential between you and them.
Also, I think it's a private elevator they've got.
The one you went on appeared to be a private elevator.
Yeah.
So, you guys don't have any ideas, huh? Any
Not a one.
ideas?
I mean, all the ideas that I have, like, basically we could try going through the, like, back corridors directly from the mall. However, I don't think we would be able to get in without being seen.
So hadn't realised I was on mute still. I
Ah.
was saying, all of this elevator stuff and all of this, sure, it's a problem during the day when they are open.
Yeah, I definitely think we should be breaking in at
When
night
they're
because they are
closed?
24. Well, they're 24/7, but they're not staffed 24/7. Like you can still get access to the little console things. So I'm thinking that might be our in. But what do they do with the elevator when they're not, when they're not in? Do they just completely lock it down? Because that'd be the sensible thing to do.
My guess is they lock it down, which means that someone good with electronic security should be able to unlock it.
There may even be
Maybe.
multiple ways to unlock it.
But I do think that's basically going to be our best bet. Is going to be to go in during the night, go, because they're going to have the booths. However, as well, remember they've got the cameras on the doors, so we'd need to go in with some way to baffle the facial recognition.
Sure, that's what balaclavas are for.
Then we might look real shady. Like, ooh.
Yeah, because we're not going to look real shady going hut, 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 and climbing up the side of the building.
Oh yeah, I think that's even more shady because, why would you be climbing the side of a building? I think it's our best bet, basically. I think going in at night and going through the shop, I think that's basically going to be our way in.
Yeah. I mean, look, my brother hopefully can do some jiggery pokery when he can get in there so that he can either wipe our faces or do whatever. But, yeah, and if it, worst case scenario, comes down to security responding, then it just puts us on a time crunch.
Mm. Yeah.
And possibly some violence against mall cops. Because the only ones that are going to respond with immediacy are going to be mall cops. It'll take time for any form of higher...
The police station's fairly nearby, isn't it? It's like a block away. I think I'm remembering that right, that the police station's quite close.
Yeah, it's I think it was a couple blocks.
So, yeah, if the alarms do go off, then basically we'll just be on probably quite a short time crunch. But a time crunch nonetheless.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm open to suggestions, but at the moment, for me, it feels it's got to be at night, where, I can't necessarily believe, and I could be wrong, but I can't believe that they're going to have a human in the elevator 24 hours a day.
No.
I could be wrong. If they do have a human in the elevator 24 hours a day, then we just hurt them until they do what we need them to do.
It's not a human in the elevator, it's a vid screen that connects with the human inside the building.
So,
I mean,
which case that should be bypassable by someone that knows what they're doing.
yeah, it's still our best bet.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah. other than that, it's scaling the side of the building and using glass cutters and doing all your Hudson Hawks swinging on a star stuff.
Yeah, I think that's a less sensible plan.
Yeah, I kept having visions of the old 60s Batman and Robin show of him climbing up the side of the building.
Yeah. When someone would always open the window.
That's right. Frequently somebody famous. Or, semi-famous. They had some pretty interesting characters on there, though. People.
They did.
Yep.
So, I mean,
anyway.
My bet, my proposal is that we try it at night, try and, if we have to use the elevator, which, I'm not a big fan of, but if we have to use the elevator to get up there, then, we're going to have a net runner and a professional thief, and between the two of them, they should be able to bypass the security in the elevator in one way or another.
And I mean, once we're back there, I think once we're back there, we'll have more options. Like, as you said, surely they're not just going to have an elevator that goes up to their offices. There's got to be other means of access.
Well, there have to be, let's be honest, there will be some form of fire escape. They're not going to put themselves into an office 3, 4 floors up a mall that if there is something that goes wrong, they can't get out and get down.
Well, you're all cooking alive because you can't get up or down or out, so yeah. Cool, I think that's the plan. Not hearing anyone saying no.
Okay, well, is that your plan?
For me, I'm a big believer in trying to keep plans simple.
Oh, definitely.
The more simple they are, the less that can go wrong, and what can go wrong is more manageable, generally.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, excellent.
So what are we gonna need then? We're gonna need to get some balaclavas or something to cover our faces.
Yeah, and again, they can be pulled on at the point we need to pull them on. Not
right at the door.
Not just walk down the street with them on and everything. That might look a little dodgy.
Hey guys, it's just really cold out.
It's just cold. That's all it is. Oh, don't worry. No, nothing to see here.
Yeah. If it all goes terribly wrong, then I will at least be carrying firearms.
The balaclavas, if we get those types that roll up like a beanie hat,
yeah,
then you pull it down when you need it, and wear coveralls, because that type of beanie hat tends to be worn more by working guys than by people who normally wear European made-to-measure designer suits.
He's just trying to get guys to wear the jumpsuits again.
Hey, look, I already wear just basic uniwear gear anyway, so.
Yeah, this is actually one of the few times I will agree to wearing a jumpsuit, is when it's part of a disguise. Because otherwise I won't. But if it's part of a disguise, then I'll wear a jumpsuit.
Alright.
Sorry, I'm gonna have to mute again.
Alright.
Yep.
That's okay, I'm just busy giving ourselves his life story across the stream here. All right. So you guys have some stuff to acquire, and gonna try this. Of course, you may. I don't know if your wife will tell us to get back to have this to make the decision, but you're gonna try this evening, or you're gonna wait some time, or depends how long it takes you to acquire the stuff.
Well, yeah, because there was going to be like a block party today, so that might be
there's that.
a decent distraction.
Yeah, that's the thing to distract the police.
So we probably do want to do it today.
Well, you know, considering where you're having it, it might even have be effective at distracting Robert's security and stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the block party is all around Robert's assets.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, we also have to get some basic workman's overalls from an army surplus shop or something. You know, or even somewhere like well, in the UK it would be somewhere like Homebase. In America, Home Depot.
DIY shops, yeah.
Yeah, the big box store DIY places.
And yes, it probably would not be difficult for you guys to find such things. I don't think you've mentioned anything that's going to be hard to find. You just, at all. Not like you're requesting some super secret special black box to, plug in and override everything for you or something.
Yeah. I mean, if one happens to be offered to me, I wouldn't say no.
You take it, huh? Yeah, no. That is not currently on the table. That was just...
What, you mean it beats all of the security here? Yeah, wow. That's great.
We should be able to get the balaclava that rolls up like a beanie hat at an army surplus place as well.
Yeah, as I was saying, and my computer keeps muting me for some reason, even when I unmute. That super secret black box, that's Impulse and my brother. They're the ones that are our super secret black box that can override everything.
Oh, I don't know if I can handle that kind of pressure.
You're from Europe, of course you can. You live on it. Cool. Well, I think we've got a plan.
It sounds like you got a plan. Effective one, we'll see, but it depends on roles and stuff.
Well, it'll either work or it won't.
It all depends on getting through the security.
Yep.
The worst that could happen, right?
All plans would. Cool. Well, in which case I will message my brother to tell him to get himself sorted for tonight.
All right.
Let's pull everything.
He's gonna message you back, but he says, "But I thought we were going to the party." But okay.
Yeah, we're going to the party and then
Afterwards.
party's at 8.
So what time? Where do you want to meet?
Well, we're going to be at the party and then we'll go at about 3 in the morning, 2, 3 in the morning.
Got it, he says. Got it. Now I understand. All right.
Well, if we notice there's a large amount of Robert security turning up, then that'll be a good time for us to leave the party early.
Yeah.
Well, there is that as well, yeah.
All right, so we attend the party.
We need to be seen at the party by security people.
Yes.
Wearing regular clothes, not coveralls and beanie hats.
I agree.
So not the clothes that you're going to wear to go break in, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Just gonna be in normal clothes. Everything is fine. Don't worry about it.
Nothing to see here.
Yeah. It won't be the old suit with the bullet holes in it.
It's probably a good idea. I mean, you could wear the old suit with the bullet holes in. You're making a point. You've tried to take me down, but I'm still here.
Right. You could just put, you know, what's that? Long Kiss Goodnight. You just put some duct tape over the bullet holes, and that takes care of them.
Yeah.
That was a great movie. But anyway.
I need to watch that.
One thing I do have to say about recent movies is a lot of people don't like it, but I like Terminator Dark Fate. But
Not seen it.
some of the bits where you see Mackenzie Davis, she's the cybernetically enhanced human.
Spoilers!
I've not seen
Yeah.
it.
But when you do, some of the bits where you see her fighting,
Okay.
they've done her moving fast without it looking like they've just speeded up the camera. It's very well done, her fight scenes.
Cool. I am behind on seeing current movies.
Yeah.
Between
But when you watch that, that gives me the impression that that is how solos with boosted reflexes and high combat sense would fight,
that's how it
compared
would
to
look.
the non-boosted people.
I'll be curious how that looks. I think of John Wick. I think is a good example of that too. That, you know, the way he just keeps going and going. How fast?
Yeah, but
it
John
is,
Wick
fast
is
the
based
reaction
on the
times.
fact. Yeah.
Go ahead.
But John Wick is based on the fact that you know, he always seems to be fighting 7-year-olds with pop guns.
Well, you know, he is the hero, even though he gets hurt. But what I'm curious about is where he got his nanosurgeons and speed healers, because there's no other way to keep going with the injuries he gets. But
Yeah.
anyway, okay. So, what is the list of stuff you guys are actually going to go get? What is the final, your final answer, so to speak, so that we can put some numbers to it? 'Cause I don't think any of it was stuff you couldn't just go to a regular store in probably the same mall you guys are casing. And
Yeah, overalls, balaclavas that roll up like beanie hats.
Do we even need anything else?
is that it?
I mean, I legitimately think it is. Like, can't really think of anything else that we particularly need. Unless anyone else can.
Phase plasma rifle in 40-watt range.
Just what you see, pal.
Yeah.
Or close, or thereabouts. I don't. That may not be the exact quote, but close enough.
Yeah,
Probably.
I think it's just what you see.
Yep. All right. So, yeah, that won't be a problem for whoever wants to go get it, or if you guys want to all go together. That's up to you. Although if you're, I actually.
Marcel's will have to come because he knows what size his brother needs.
Right. So that would be the next question. So I got 2 questions, and I'll give you some numbers here. Whoever's going to actually pay for the stuff. Are you guys all going together, or who is going? And are you going to that mall, or are you just going to find another store, or, like you said, a home improvement big box type place somewhere?
Well, let Marcellus get them because he knows what size his brother needs. And if I get them, people might recognize me and remember me buying them.
They may, yeah. Well, you know, that's part of why I'm asking. That's why I'm asking. Sorry if I got too far from the mic. That's why I'm asking who's going to go get them. because things like that might happen. Be like, you have enough of a stringer, you have enough of a rep that, you know, there might be people on the street like using their cell phone taking videos of you because they saw you in person, you know, even.
Yeah.
So basically, someone who's not you needs to go and get them. Oh yeah, let's send the celebrity to go buy our like burglary gear.
That's right.
That
That's
could
right.
Potentially bite us.
Wheelbarrow, axe, you know, a couple of shovels, some rope. Nothing to see here.
Yeah.
Trash bags, gloves.
I mean, I'm happy to do it, but I A, can't afford it, and B, don't know anyone's sizes.
Okay, this should be the easiest part of this whole thing, so...
You say that. When it comes to purchasing things, nothing is easy when you have as little money as I do.
Yeah. Well, we'll get Marcellus to go, as I say.
Okay, so you put together your list of your sizes. Marcellus will know his brothers and his own, and you guys give him those. I assume you'll tell him. Of course, I know I don't know if he can hear us even, but I know he's muted for now. So you guys give this list to him, and I will assume for the moment that he won't have the problem going to get it. So you got the face coverings that roll up, and I'm sorry, you got those and jumpsuits. Was that the other thing or something? No, was it not?
Yeah,
coveralls.
workman's overalls.
Workman's overalls kind of things. Okay. Those aren't going to be very... We're not talking about special ones or armored ones, or...
No.
You're not looking for something with putting a logo on it, particular logo, anyway, or any of that kind of stuff, just whatever's.
I mean, we're probably going to burn these when we're done, so...
Yeah.
Alright.
I mean,
So-
considering that you now get armor clothing quite cheaply, it
Yeah.
probably wouldn't be difficult to get overalls. This is something like SP5, just for on-the-job protection
Well,
against
Actually-
nail sharp object.
well, you mentioned it. That's actually what I was going to give you a couple options. Good Marcellus, I guess, would be the one going, but the basic cheapest ones are going to be €20 a piece for each piece of clothing, the head cover and the jumpsuit, or the coverall. I keep saying jumpsuit. I got jumpsuits on my brain now. Coveralls.
They're very similar.
Sorry, coveralls. They are. So, yeah, 20 a piece will get you the really basic, cheaper ones. 35 a piece will get, that's exactly, Austin, that's exactly what I was actually thinking. We'll get you 5 armor, and the coveralls are actually supposed to be rated to protect from sharp objects, though if you look closely there'll be a little CYA statement below that says we don't guarantee it will protect you from anything at all. In fact, the seams may even cut you as you put it on. We don't know, we don't care. But anyway, 35 a piece and a 5 armor. The drawback to the 5 armor ones is, depending what else you're wearing, it could count against you for layering.
Yeah.
So you always have to figure that out, decide which ones you want to get. I'm just trying to keep it simple, same price, whatever. This isn't, this isn't complicated stuff that you guys are going to get. Yeah, so it'll just be a matter of picking which one. They will be, of course, I know Marcellus is busy, so we'll get his answer in a moment. Do you guys want to, do you think he should go to that same mall you guys went to? Or find a, box home improvement type place or whatever?
Yeah, either box home improvement place or
Whatever.
something like an army surplus. You know,
Okay.
if there's one that's
Hmm.
like you know, the army surplus that Michael Douglas goes through in Falling Down.
Hmm. Right. Yep. Yep. Let's see.
You know,
Well, they would have. Okay, so if you guys check this out, if somebody checks it out, the army surplus. Actually, we will roll it too, just because. Yeah, oh yeah. That's funny. That's funny because those two rolls worked out just the way I was already thinking about it before I decided to roll it.
Yeah.
They will have some coveralls. Basically, it won't take much to figure this out. You can look online. You can do whatever. The coveralls you get if you go to a box store, they're going to have the HDL. That stands for Home Depot, Lowe's, conglomerate, home improvement stores. HDL logo on them. If you find a, it's actually not called an army surplus. They are just called, what would they be called? It wouldn't make sense. Army per se. They are just
Tactical shot.
That's yeah, really. See, that's what I'm thinking. Because this is a different situation than we have now. Now it's just kind of, they're kind of neat. Some of it's cool stuff. Some of it you might want if you're wanting to put stuff away in case there's a tornado goes over your house or something. But anyway, so yeah, you go to the we'll just call it military surplus stores. You go to the military surplus store. They will have the coveralls. They will actually have them in a couple of different 3 or 4 different kinds of camo patterns, or the basic green, the dark green of the U.S. that the U.S. military used to use all the time before they started using camo stuff for a lot of and they will actually be more expensive though. They will be $50. The coveralls will be $50 at the military surplus. You can pick which color of camo you want if you want a camo color. And these are more for as much for what do you call it? For not designer but fashion. As much for fashion as anything. It's not like you need like your hat, a camo pattern in the middle of Night City. But it's more of a picking which one's the current fashion or something like that than anything.
I don't think we need fashion. I think just get the normal ones.
Get the HDL.
Yeah.
Okay. Barring Marcellus's input in a moment, we will assume for the moment that that's what he is going to go do. So. Oh, he's typing. Let's see. He's typing. I guess he can hear us.
Drum roll, please.
Okay, this is turning into... So, this is kind of... Actually, this is kind of... No, I was going to say this is... So, we got one player on video and voice, one player on voice only, and one player on text only.
We're spanning the media...
The digital
whatever.
media gamut. That's right.
Yeah.
Alright, so anyway. Fine. Yeah, it's been 50 minutes already. Okay, so anyway. So he's agreed. He's pretty much going to go do that. He will pick that stuff up. So you guys pick which ones you're going to get. If you're getting all the same or you're getting different ones, or he can pick, or whatever. And he'll spend the money, and he can, since if he's going to go get them, he'll have to spend the money. He can tell you guys how much to pay him back or whatever if he wants.
Hopefully there'll be an opportunity to make some money on this run as well, because I don't have very much.
Yeah, there may be some pay data.
You never know what you're going to find. Depends how the rolls go. Depends on how far you get. Never know. Yeah, so getting that stuff is just not a big deal. So
Yeah, this isn't going to be one to film.
Yeah.
You probably don't want a recording of this.
No. I think your news company would probably just like be like, "Oh no, he's not actually with us. We don't know him."
All right.
Yeah, that does remind me. Has it been long enough since the Mexico job that I'll be getting the monthly return on the film I made of it?
It hasn't actually in game. I'm trying to remember. Did we? I don't think we skipped any time. Did we skip? We skipped a couple weeks.
Yeah, because we did have healing time, and
I'm gonna
Well,
say
have
you
you?
got we had a week for that, week or so for that. I'm gonna say you got another week for that. Another week.
Okay.
You should be expecting that money to come in.
yep.
Well, let's see. I know we're partially going to wait for Marcellus to see if you need him involved. But I'm going to say, unless you guys have something else you want to do in the meantime, we can skip forward to the party, getting the party started.
I'm good
Yeah.
with that.
Okay. So, you guys everybody had made, let's see, Vex was here last week, wasn't he? He was involved in the party planning. So, everybody...
What was he?
Was he? That's why I'm at.
No, I don't think he was.
No,
Oh,
I
he
think it
wasn't
was
here
just
last week either? Okay.
It was just us two, I think. Because Marcellus. Wait, was Marcellus here last week? Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
he was.
He was.
'Cause
That
he
was
did-
he missed a
he
couple
went
weeks before
drinking.
that. Right. Yep.
Yeah, so it was us three again last week.
Yeah. Okay, so so the Nomad didn't get the word. That's okay. So, well, you guys made lots of calls though. Actually, at some point, not sure when this happened or who did it.
Yeah, that
Okay.
sucks.
That sucks. Yep.
Working
I know how it
agencies.
goes. I was afraid I was going to have one. Actually, I had one of my clients yesterday, just before close of business yesterday. They called me with nobody could get into their email accounts, but luckily I was able to get it working last night. So, anyway,
Nice.
yep. Right. Okay. So at some point that over real quick, so I can point it out because it is kind of neat. Get the right screen. Okay, so the players that have been around longer, you guys will know it, but Impulse Shoot, I'm not sure if we went over all this. The floor plan of the inside of your building, you got some seating, some couches and whatever, and this is an entertainment center. Big TV, sound system, and all that stuff for residents to use. And at some point, this one normally it's either off, sometimes it's playing news. For some reason it does seem to when you go by, if one of Stringer's shows is on, one of the stuff that he contributes to video to is on, that'll be on there. But right now, or all afternoon, it's been actually showing information on the upcoming event this evening, on the party, the block party. Okay? What's weird is nobody really, you guys don't anyway know who it is that seems to be programming this thing. Just the stuff just shows up.
I think it's top floor person.
So, weird. But that block party thing is showing up. There is... So you catch that as you guys are going in and out. Whatever it is you're doing this afternoon, besides literally just having that conversation. Ourselves going to get the clothing. So that info is showing on there. Around 6 o'clock, give or take, a bit after 6, some of the local... Let's flip back over again, because now I need the other map. We're going to go ahead and zoom in a bit on our area. Right. that. Around 6 o'clock, some of like the bozos, there's a whole like a string of metro of these little three-wheeled, kind of like a combination of, well, and I don't know, I don't know for those of us not in the United States, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the same, or they called the same car, but the old metros, Geo Metros, was a little cheap ass.
I know what you mean. We
you
had
know,
them in the UK
just
as well.
a step above a Yugo, you know, maybe 2 steps above a Yugo. But it looks kind of like those, but they're three-wheeled, kind of like the Robins, the Reliance. But a string of those, several of those start coming in, and several clowns of various types get out, and they start setting up some stuff. They set up a small open-air tent, and they set up some like fair-type games, stuff like that. They have what kind of looks like a pie-in-the-face kind of thing, except it's using darts. And they don't have somebody's face there yet, but that's obvious. That's what it's supposed to be. You know, there's a spot for somebody to stick their head through. But instead of throwing like cream pies or whatever at them, they're setting up to throw darts at them. Steel tip darts.
Oh, lovely.
Some other fun stuff. Okay. As they're setting us up, around 6, just a little bit after that, several bikes come in. They are the Mongols gang, and they actually start roping off parts of the side streets for parking and blocking off parts of the road here. So they're going to block off an area from about there all the way down to in here someplace.
Jeez.
They block off this whole area. It's like 4 blocks, 5 blocks, and they also start setting up and marking some spots on some of the side streets for parking. Let's see, who else is going to show up? The Western Stars show up. The Philharmonic Vampires show up. As it gets closer to 8, basically all the groups that still have an interest in the area start coming in. They set up sideshows or portable stages or stuff or booths or whatever to get this for this party, for this event. Jackson, Arcellus' brother Jackson, will show up. They actually have without looking up in the book, it's like a Peterbilt 2000 or something, I think is a model from the book. Basically, it's a semi-tractor trailer, and they unload it in like 5 minutes. They unload this whole truck and start setting up a stage. It's like just you blink and the truck's unloaded and they're putting the stage together. They're going to set up the stage right about there on the corner. So actually, right there. They're setting up a stage. Who else is going to be there? It's getting on. It only takes them about 45 minutes to set the whole stage up. The whole thing. Trusses, lighting, speakers, the whole 9 yards, right? It's all set up really quick.
Black tacos.
Black, absolutely. Thank you for mentioning black tacos. There is a taco truck that shows up. A food truck. It is all perfect, glossy, highly reflective, glossy black truck with really dark gray. It says black tacos across the side. Very subdued looking. And they'll open up the side, and they are selling. Let's see what they have. Let's give them a. Do they have real meat? They have a mixture of soy protein and real beef tacos that they are selling out this, or getting ready to sell. They're heating everything up, getting the truck ready to sell stuff, sell food. Um, they are also setting up 3 or 4 tables on behind the truck. So they get the truck set up, they set up a tent and stuff behind the truck, they start setting up tables, and several solo-looking people seem to be standing around the back side of the truck. So, I guess you'll have to go look to see what's being done back there.
Yep.
Yeah, basically every group. There's even another tent in this open lot, or in part of the rubble. Actually, that was all. No, this is the building. Okay, this is the building that you guys collapsed. In part of the empty parking lot at this building, another tent goes up. Sides go down, and it's a big lighted sign that looks straight out of Dusk Till Dawn. If you guys remember the Twister, the sign goes up, and basically a number of people from the Joy Hotel show up and are inside the tent, and occasionally one will come out and try to and realize there's not hardly anybody here yet, so they go back inside. So that's going on right there. Now, as this is going together, as you're approaching 8 o'clock, they just continue to set up. Nothing starts on time. You do start getting people showing up, though. People of all kinds. Kind of looking out your windows. I don't know. You guys going to stay inside the building for the moment, or are you going to be out on the street?
Oh,
I'll be out on the street because this I can film.
I'm sorry, Impulse. What did you say?
I'll be on the street as well.
Okay. So, what are you guys? Impulse, let's do you first. What kind of clothing, as however detailed you want to be, or at least what type of clothing? How are you going to dress for it? And would you roll your wardrobe and style?
Yeah, so I would love to dress extra special for it, but you know, I started the game with 600 Eurobucks, and even then, you know, I bought, I bought leisurewear stuff, which is double price, because you know, it's important. So yeah, I'm just like in a very kind of sort of semi-relaxed, semi-sporty kind of like get-up, which is kind of my usual go-to. It's probably like a pair of like tracksuit bottoms, some like running shoes, and then probably like a vest or something like that. I don't know, how warm is it here? This is like California, isn't it?
It's California. Let's see what the weather is like this evening.
Yeah, because that'll dictate whether I bring the guns out or not.
Okay. Okay.
Bye-bye, Marcellus.
Yep. Okay, so how is the weather? It is warm, bordering on muggy. It is not raining. There is no precipitation at the moment, but there is that smog fog stuff rolling through. It would be extremely dark, getting very dark, except that your building has very good, well kept, well maintained lighting around it. And some of it between the stage that's over here, the tent and stuff that the bozos have set up, and so on. The street it is well lit in spots, and then there'll be some not very well lit, and then it'll be well lit again. Because there's no significant street lights or that kind of stuff that's well maintained on this road, on the street. So There's
yeah, I
there's
mean,
going to be a lot of shady areas, that's for sure.
Okay.
And so yeah, there you go.
yeah, I mean, if it's that, it's probably the vest is on. Because I've got like a thin kind of Kevlar-y kind of vest underneath it. So yeah, it's probably like both of those. So there's like minimal overlap, but yeah, that's probably it. Don't know about colors. Just yeah, I don't know. Blacks, whites, greys, I guess.
Okay, you want to roll your rolls?
Yeah, why not? It's cool, I'll get the ones out the way. I haven't rolled a 10 in a while.
No.
That wardrobe and style roll does confirm my opinion of people wearing shell suits.
Okay. So yeah, you've thrown something together. You feel like you've done a good job. That you're looking pretty good and stuff. You're gonna head out on the street and start checking stuff out. Mr. Stringer, same deal.
Yep, I'll be wearing
what do
my
you
usual suit.
Without the bullet holes or with?
Without.
Okay.
Basically, the one that I usually wear, the Amon Bergeron suit, but it's also the one that I've been seen wearing, you know, on you know, stuff that I filmed that's gone on the air, so that will also be recognizable, and you know, I'm recognizable. The main thing is so that if there is any investigation, and they start asking around, people will say, yeah, I saw him at the party.
Kind of your signature suit, you might say.
Yeah.
Alright. And you go out there and you're filming stuff. So yeah, there's yeah, so lots and lots of people start showing up. There is on that sound stage where Jackson, where you guys would have seen Marcellus' brother starting to set up. There is a band playing up there. It is not Jackson, but there is a band that's starting to play, and they're actually not bad. They're not bad. They're all, you know, obvious. They are missing a chord here and there. The singer's okay. Obviously, it's an opening act type thing. But they're starting to play over there. Let's see how many people are showing up here. So there's, besides people that live in the area, besides the people running the booths and stuff, there's around 50, at just after 8 o'clock, there are already at least between 50 and 100 people wandering around on the street, checking out the stuff. But every time you look around, it seems like there's more people showing up.
Yep.
Okay.
The main point of this is that the curfew is 8 o'clock.
Yes.
Yep. Let's see if yep. So you will, in here somewhere, you will periodically start to see Militech is actually not running down the middle of the road where all the people are, but Militech, there is a series of Militech trucks that come up on this end of where the Mongols started setting up barricades. There are a few of the Militech vehicles have shown up on this end, and a couple have shown up over on this end. And so far, the vehicles have just pulled up. Nothing else is happening. So there's that. You guys are just going to mingle. Is there anything particular you want to go do or check out?
No. Just gonna have a look, see what's going on. Not really doing anything in particular.
I'm just going to wander around and do short 2-minute interviews with people about the curfew and
Right.
How they feel now that they're defying the curfew and basically sticking one finger up to Arasaka and Militech. I mean, the news stations may not be interested in this. Some of the smaller ones might be interested in the edited thing I do afterwards. But if not, these interviews can go on my own website.
Okay. And you can roll interview. Just do a general interview roll here and whenever, and we'll use that.
Yep.
But it turns out you were interviewing that Militech guy, and he just tells you that Militech is great.
He starts to say something else, and then he changes and goes to attention and starts saying how great Militech is again. Okay.
20 on the interview.
Let me see what else. Oh, you will get Stringer. You will get an alert, and you've got all those alerts set up for the area and news alert stuff. And the headline is that Militech approves Charter Hill South application for extended curfew for this evening.
Yeah, they can't be bothered to deal with it.
If you pull it up, if you pull up the article, there's a whole long article from Militech PR department, which is called something bit better than that, but basically that's what it's from. Militech is very pleased that the organizers of the Charter Hill block party for this evening were so willing to abide by the new laws set by Night City Council and follow all the proper channels and paperwork to apply for a permit for this evening's festivities, and that they found that the security provisions and the planned methods of reducing the chance for crime and for negative events to happen anyway, mitigating any bad stuff that might happen, that the plans that was put in place would be sufficient to protect the citizens, and Militech will definitely of course have a presence, but they've given their blessing to the party for this evening.
Yep. Lying bastards.
And as you're going, as you guys are wandering around, you will see periodically there will be another Militech vehicle on one of the side roads, or two. But there's always at least one or two on each end. I put it over here and over here someplace. There'll almost always be at least one or two, and then you'll see others wandering, driving around the area, around the area. But you don't see any Militech uniformed people on the street, on the block here. Let's see. As we get into the 9 o'clock range. Okay, what did I... Oh, because I rolled a 1. Okay, so... Okay, that's not what I wanted. There we go. Okay, gotta be one extreme or the other. Why do I even roll sometimes?
Yeah. Dice gods are like, fine, you don't want that. Here's another.
Okay, so after I mentioned around that 8 o'clock or just 8 o'clock, there was 50 to 100 people wandering around, but it seemed like there were a lot more showing up. As you pass the 9 o'clock hour, there are a lot of people out here. There are now over 1,000 people wandering in the block between the spots that the Mongrels blocked off, the various tents and displays. Tacos, you'll see tacos and burritos and other Mexican-style foodstuffs being carried around by people. You will see something that kind of resembles a funnel cake, but isn't, being carried around by people. And after in there somewhere, you'll start seeing red cups. A lot of people start to have these red cups that they're carrying around. Does anyone want to roll? You think none of you have fixtures, but do you have streetwise? Do either of you have streetwise? I think you do.
I do.
You do.
No.
No. Okay, so Impulse, you might just want to do your awareness notice. Stringer will do your streetwise for me.
20.
Okay. Well, with awareness notice, this is going to be a little bit higher, but they're not actually hiding anything per se. So 20. I'm going to say 20 is sufficient. 19 is sufficient with the streetwise roll. There are a number of small-time dealers wandering around peddling pills and smoke and all kinds of stuff, wandering through the crowd.
You're getting some feedback on your mic. It's a bit crackly whenever you speak.
Yeah.
That last sentence, like, we could understand you fine,
Right.
but it was...
Is this better?
Oh, you're much better. Yeah, much better.
Okay. So, yeah, there's some small-time dealers apparently out here peddling stuff, various, you would assume various illicit drugs and such. There is that on this stuff that you would expect things to happen in this when you get this big of a crowd together in this part of town. There's things you expect to have happen.
Yep.
The tent for the No Joy Hotel it's the mobile version of the No Joy Hotel. That's pretty much what you got going on right there. So there are various people wandering in and out of there. I mentioned the other stuff. Periodically, you will hear a loud scream or screech from the Bozo's open tent as somebody gets nailed in the forehead with a steel-tipped dart.
Yep.
They are actually taking volunteers, and people are actually volunteering
Of course they are.
to have a dart thrown at them. If you go investigate, basically they're being offered a percentage of the take. While their face is in there, they get a small percentage of whatever's collected for people to throw darts at them. And there's people taking them up on it. And the clowns think this is just hilarious, that people are willing, to take a little bit of money to let other people throw stuff at them, throw sharp objects at them.
I mean, Mr. Smirage probably finds this hilarious as well. These people are stupid.
I'm thinking of volunteering.
Yeah, the fact that they're volunteering to have darts thrown at them, like. I guess it'll thin the gene pool.
Yep, there you go. So stuff is happening. The place is, there's a lot of people showing up. More and more and more people the streets really starting to get crowded. More tightly packed. There's less spaces where you can just walk for a ways without anybody right near you. After 10 to 11, somewhere in there, Marcellus' brother Jackson starts playing on the stage, and there's like a whole bunch of people suddenly head toward the stage over there. And there's actually a mosh pit, slam dance kind of thing starts developing right up in front of there. There are people of all kinds of different people, all different walks of life. There's some pretty heavily chromed up individuals in the crowd. Let's see. Yeah, I figured. You see at least one full board conversion wandering around. Doesn't seem to be causing a problem or being anything, just, being there. Over at the stage, over near the music stage is where he is, where they are. What else? Crowd continues to grow, guys. By midnight, there are more thousands of people on this block than you can easily count. Let's put it that way.
If I was going to be a meme lord, I might say that there's over 9,000 people here.
Would you each roll a an awareness notice? Would you each roll an awareness notice?
18.
$22.
Okay. Stringer, you will notice. You are noticing there are people in various types of clothing, but have a little Robert Roberts logo pin on their somewhere on their clothing. They're not wearing like a uniform or a suit or necessarily. There's different kinds of fashion styles, but periodically you'll see somebody with a Robert Roberts pin on. And usually they don't look like netrunners. They don't look like techies. They look more like solos. So that's going on.
Yep.
Party continues. There are periodically fights. In general, none of them get too bad. Let's see. If you go back, around back here, there's actually a open knuckle boxing thing has started up. So big crowd, kind of like the old what's it called? Oh man, see, I'm blanking on the dude's name. Any Which Way But Loose, that kind of boxing. Blanking on the actor's name, but anyway, bare knuckle boxing. Basically, big crowd gets around. Two people get inside the area, that no fences or anything, but inside in the open area, and they take bets on who's going to win. So that's going on. But in general, when there's other fights, other small disagreements and stuff, they don't last very long. They get broken up. Crowd seems to be reasonably well behaved, all considered. Anything particular you guys want to do? This party is hopping.
I'm just
so to speak.
wandering around looking for things that will make good shots.
I mean, you've noticed the Robert Roberts guys. Maybe
Yes.
now is the time? Question mark.
Now, I would say, well, let me see what time we're at. Considering the time we have left and that Marcellus is not here, we may...
Yeah, we're not going to do the...
We're not going to actually go do the break-in tonight. But, okay.
I mean, I don't mind if for plot you want to, like, continue
No.
doing stuff at the party, I don't really mind.
So I'm gonna say, unless you guys have something particular, we might just say that you guys are gonna continue to do party stuff. Like I said, if there's something particular you want to go do or go check out,
I'm not drinking or doing any drugs because, as far as Mistress Mirage is concerned, she's on a job. So,
Mistress Mirage, you feel a tugging at your pocket or a bag or whatever it is you might be carrying, if you're carrying something like that.
Yeah, probably am.
Okay.
Yeah,
Whether it's a bag or a
hands
type bag or whatever, you know.
Yeah, hand is
bag for
hands immediately going on that. Yeah, hands like basically like as soon as I feel that, like my hand goes to either secure or grab like whatever's there. And then I'm gonna look around.
You grab a wrist that was apparently trying to pickpocket you, maybe? And spin around. There is an 8-year-old girl. More or less 8-year-old. A young girl. There. Kind of dirty looking. You know. Who was apparently failed at trying to pickpocket you, basically. To acquire something of value from your person.
Cool. Yeah, I look at just look at them. Yeah, I just like look at her, and I just kind of like sigh and shake my head and say, "Look, Missy, there's much better targets than this one. I don't have any money whatsoever."
She's like looks around the crowd some and like looks off in one direction. If you look, there will be someone over in that direction, in a suit, and kind of gives her a wave, and she lets go. She just backs away. Unless you try to stop, assuming you let go of her, she'll blend in with the crowd and disappear.
Yeah, I'll let go of her.
Okay. So you let go of her, she blends in the crowd. The guy that she was looking at, when you look back up, is gone. Okay. Yeah.
From that moment on, bag goes to the front. So now no one can pickpocket me unless they want to, just do a reach from the front. It's like, what are you doing?
Well, it is a crowd. There will occasionally be people bumping into you and stuff. It's like a really crowded concert or fair or something like that. There's a lot of people. I probably
redo the bag, so instead of like sort of hanging at like my hip, I kind of like redo it and do the strap so it's basically like sort of across my chest. Yeah. It's not a big bag because I don't have that much stuff. So yeah, it's just like a small bag, and it's a little bit like a bandolier, like across my front.
Okay. So.
Oh, Vex is working.
Oh, Vex
is working.
Okay. So you do that. Continue to wander around. You continue to get bumped into all that stuff. Stringer, you're just going to continue wandering around, filming interesting stuff. You're doing some interviews. You get some decent interviews, some not so great. In general, especially when you're actually recording, you got the light on and stuff. People tend to give you a little bit of space. Not quite as crowded immediately right where you are. Occasionally, you will see like a flash, or somebody walking by will like be nudging the other person and go, pointing at you, stuff like that. Somebody taking your picture. You get a couple requests for people to want to take pictures with you. They're holding their camera. They like walk up. Can they take a picture with you? And they immediately put their phone up and lean against you. Stuff like that. At least once while you're in the middle of interviewing somebody, in the middle of a question, somebody just kind of jumps in and takes a picture and runs. Stuff like that. You know, you're pretty well known around here, especially. You're very well known around here, actually. What else? You guys are just wandering around, huh? You don't anything particular you want to do? Let's see. You do actually. You both have rolled high enough. This is something else you do see. You guys will periodically, not very often, but you will see people wandering through here that have that same kind of stiff look to them, non-natural walking kind of thing, and they don't seem to, they're just walking. They're just in the crowd. They, you know, everybody else, as they're wandering around, they're moving one side or the other, squeezing between people and stuff. These people are just walking straight. Whatever direction they're going, they're just walking that way. If somebody doesn't get out of the way, they run into them.
Okay, cool.
There's actually, you probably see at least a dozen people like that.
Yeah. One plan with that might be if we join up and start watching these people. So if one of them goes down an alleyway or something somewhere quiet, we can follow them, cold cock them. Then, because we've got an injured person, we can take them around to Doc Ock, and then Doc Ock can find out what's been put in them.
Yeah, I'm up for that. I'll like blend into the crowd and just like watch these people, see if any of them go off anywhere in particular.
Okay.
Yeah, if anyone asks, we can say they're a PAFO. Anyone know that acronym?
Nope.
Piston fell over.
Okay.
I understand why I don't know that acronym.
Piss means drunk.
Yeah,
right,
pissed
no,
is a very British thing.
I was familiar with that term, but not they're an acronym. Okay. So you're gonna just like take up a spot and try to watch for one of these people?
Yeah.
Or both of you together?
Yeah.
Are we gonna do it together or
do it together, because then we can claim to have found the guy and carry him out.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Alright, well it wouldn't be too hard for you guys to get back together. I mean, you weren't walking around together per se, but the block's not that long. And periodically you pick a spot. I guess each of you were on awareness notice. We'll start there.
Yep.
Consistent.
Okay, well, you guys have gotten together. You picked a spot to watch, not too far from, or say, I don't know, like in here someplace. And you're watching. At this point, you haven't seen anybody. You haven't seen any of these guys. Maybe getting on midnight, maybe 11 to midnight, we'll say. You each want to go ahead and do another awareness notice. Basically, you're just kind of hanging out here. Oh, you did find you will have found at some point there is a vendor selling an alcoholic drinks, but regardless of what you get from them, it all goes in a red Solo style cup. So you're seeing people walking around with these cups. They could have anything from beer to some mixed drink to some smash on tap or whatever. It could be anything. Well, guys. Okay.
I get real distracted.
Well, actually, what happens is you guys are looking. You actually see somebody. You will actually see somebody, and you're like nudging Stringer, going, pointing. Not very surreptitious. You're not hiding it very well. You're like, how about them? And Stringer, you look. You're like, no. So yeah, no, you guys still. You're not. It's not hard to find these guys, but you guys are rolling kind of crappy.
Yeah.
All right, we'll give you one more chance.
Let's move over towards.
You gotta pick another spot. That's a good idea.
Yeah. So we're looking at our building, and from where the entrance is, where they would come round the corner to head down to where the party is. The quickest route from the lobby to the party.
Okay.
Because we have seen people like this in our building.
Right.
As far as we know, that's where they seem to be coming from.
Roll them again.
How's that 40?
Another 17. God's sake.
Okay, so apparently that was the problem. You guys were looking in completely the wrong place. Holy crap, a 10, a 10, and 8. That would be 40.
Yep.
Okay, so you guys are watching this up part of the entryway. You actually get a good position. You're watching part of the entry and part of a side entrance to the building. You're able to see both. Impulse, you will spot 3 come out the side entrance at the same time. Walking in step with each other.
Immediately nudged the string out. There's 3 of them. 3.
Yep.
Come out onto the side over here. You guys find this. You picked a spot that's over behind. They set up that stage right in here somewhere. You're able to find a spot and climb up on some rigging and get a better. That's part of how you spot a better vantage point over here. 3 come out of that side entrance. Go to the street, and 1 goes left, 1 goes right, and 1 seems to be heading toward the stage area. And you don't even have to roll forward. You actually, some security for the stage or something starts to question you guys and recognizes who you are from the building and let you know Marcellus and all that. Doesn't get you any hassle. That part's not a problem. But so. Yeah, so
well,
you see
the guy heading towards the stage is probably not going to be a good target.
I was going to say, they are going to disappear into the crowd pretty fast, so yeah, go for it. Go ahead.
So left or right, basically.
Yep.
What are we thinking? Left, right?
Let's go for left, because we can try and get them to shift off between the 2 buildings.
Okay, yeah.
The 2 blocks, the block with Doc Ock in, and the other one that's not named or labelled in any way.
Okay. Yeah. Then we'll go left. We'll follow Lefty.
Yeah, then we can probably go down what looks like a back alley to Doc Ock's building.
Okay, so
It looks like there's a back alley between a couple of those buildings.
you're going to hit left being, make sure I understand this direction, which is in
Yep.
general toward Doc Ock's, as you said. Okay. Make sure we're all on the same page there. Okay. So, basically, you're going to bump them, try to knock them out, and
Yeah.
if anybody
Yeah, but
asks...
not in the middle of the crowd. That would be silly.
Well, this guy walks
Yeah,
this
as soon as-
direction. He turns. He will stop in front of each, like the Bozu's tent and whatever else is over this way. In each one, he will stop and look at that at each thing that's out here. And just stare at it for like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And then he'll turn to walk to the next one.
When he gets to the
and stare at that
bozo,
one.
when he gets to the bozo's tent, you know, I'll just sidle up to him and say, you know, hey, have you been inside? They've got this thing where they're throwing darts at people's faces. It's a great laugh. See if he goes inside.
No response. No indication they even heard you.
No. See how he reacts if I stick an arm on his shoulder and then like try to guide him into the bozo's tent. like you would with a mate.
I'm sorry, like you would what?
With a mate, with a friend.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm sorry, I just didn't hear you. Okay, got it. Okay. He will turn and look at you and say, "Hello, Stringer." And he will walk. He'll. What are you up to?
Oh, just doing some filming. The bozos have got this thing set up where people stick their face through a hole in the in this wooden thing with painted stuff on it, and then people pay to throw darts at them.
He says, "We see that. What about it?"
Yep. Yeah. But it's a good laugh. Come on in.
We are currently examining the booths, the things going on the block.
I'm like eavesdropping from like within the crowd, and this is really weird.
We are headed further west when our observations here are complete.
Ah. Okay. If they're heading west, that means they're heading away from the crowd. So, I think just hang back a bit and then wait till they finish their observations and follow them when they go west.
Yep.
So, if you remove your hand from him, and if you don't say anything else, you'll go back to staring at the Bozo's tent, and you'll just move a little bit further west, move on to the next, whatever is next thing that's going on, and stare at that. And he just kind of keeps moving that direction, moving toward the west side. He will eventually come to where the barricades are that the Mongols set up for this end, and he will stare in general at the Mongols, and they start getting a little nervous. Because it's not that he looks that intimidating, it's just weird.
Yeah.
You know, this crowd is all moving around, and you got people coming from outside the barriers coming in, and there's a whole bunch of the Mongols' bikes, but then there's another section of just people that came for the event that have parked their bikes over on this end. And there's more people moving out, but this guy's just kind of standing there staring at him. And then he stops, then he kind of turns his body a little bit, and he looks past them, and he's looking at, he appears to be staring at the Militech vehicle that's parked over here. He's staring at it. Guys, you're not doing anything else yet?
I think this is probably going to be our best chance. I mean, it's not as if the Mongols are going to say anything.
No.
He's going to just turn around and start to walk back east.
No, I think I'm gonna go up behind him and try and knock him out.
Yeah. Just as he gets to that alley back there. You see what I'm thinking?
Buildings. Right. Yep, between the buildings there. Okay. With what are you trying to knock him out? Your martial arts, your wit, your breath.
My stunning good looks.
That could be it.
No, I'm. I'm just gonna go behind and just try and just smack him on the back of the head. Try and just knock him out.
Okay. Well, let's see. So yeah, roll your. What martial arts do you use? Is that what I assume that's what you're going to use, effectively?
Yeah.
Okay, I figured that's what it would be.
I have this one. I'm going to put a point of luck to not fumble it. Wham!
Yep, that'll do.
Okay. That'll do, donkey. Okay,
Fucking...
Okay. You hit him. That roll was not, luckily, to not get hit, because then he would have won. That was
I would say that you have something against me if it was, because it would be the second time.
No, that was a stun check. Now I'm just rolling this stuff. I'm not doing anything to affect. It's just a roll. But no, that was a stun check, which he failed, because that stun check is the one thing you want to roll low on, not high.
I think I just Metal Gear Solided this guy.
Yeah, he knocked. He's like walking back. He'll start to turn to you, because you didn't do stealth or anything. You just kind of came up next to him and hit him. But he will start to turn to you. He will say, "Hello, Mistress Mirage," and you just, whoop, and he falls unconscious. He falls limp. Whether he falls down or not depends if you want to catch him. But yeah, pretty much there it is.
Cool. Yeah, no, I probably catch.
Catch him. Okay. This person is a body 5, so not very big. You shouldn't have any trouble, catching him, helping him around, whatever.
Body type 10.
Yeah, like I said, you're not going to have any problem. You guys.
Yeah, well, if you want, you grab his shoulders, I grab his feet.
Yep.
Or we take him down to Doc Ock.
Yep.
Do you guys want to roll an awareness notice? See if anybody noticed or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, we may as well.
And then I say we sneak off with him. Blah!
Damn. Did you say something about not rolling many 10s recently?
I haven't been rolling. I rolled loads of 1s last session, so,
Yeah. Alright, so Stringer, you will notice that you do get a few odd looks, but there's so much going on. There's people bumping into you. There are people that are really drunk, really stoned. All kinds of stuff's going on. You do get a couple of weird looks at first, but nobody really seems to either care or give it a second thought. That you guys seem to be carrying this guy away. Mirage, however,
do so quietly.
You notice that, but you also notice there are 3 others that have that same kind of really stiff walk, have that look that you guys have been watching for and getting familiar with, that are out there in the crowd, that right just half a second after you hit him, after you knock this guy out, they seem to be looking toward you guys. They haven't moved yet. They stopped. If they're in motion, they stopped, and they turned to look straight toward you guys.
Yeah, I say to Stringer, yeah, Stringer, we probably want to leave right now.
Yep, I'll grab his feet.
As soon as I knock this guy out, 3 of the others immediately just looked over here. So, yeah. Hive mind.
Yeah, if this was Shadowrun, I'd be expecting bugs to start coming out of the walls.
Yeah. Oh no, the person who lives on the top floor is a bug shaman.
Yep.
Well,
yeah. So we're gonna leave, and we're gonna leave.
Not to give anything
quietly.
away, but I keep thinking of oh God, see now I said as soon as I started to say it, I lost it. What was the name of that damn movie? The movie where the dude uploads himself to the computer.
Tron.
No. Yeah, well, he did do that in that Tron, but then he builds a solar-powered data center.
I don't know.
It's the same guy that plays Jack Sparrow is in it. But anyway.
Oh, Transcendence.
Transcendence, yes, sir. Thank you. That's the movie I keep thinking of. When I'm thinking of that's kind of what when they're all working together, they don't always have that hive mind appearance, but when they're working together on a project or something, they very much have that move in unison, that kind of not quite natural walk and all that. That's kind of the look I'm thinking of.
Yeah. Well, if we now make a dash for Doc Ox.
So, are you guys going to just run for it, or are you going to use stealth, or what's your plan? Or something else?
I say we try and use stealth, try and
throw
just
a
be
smoke bomb and
unnoticed. So I just say we slip into one of the side streets and just go quietly.
Yeah, head for Doc Ock's back door.
So whatever method you're going to use, make an appropriate roll.
Cool. I'm going to point of luck it. Oh, I forgot. That's actually a 31.
What did you forget to add in there?
My special ability.
Yes, because that sheet doesn't do that. Doesn't know how. So
Nope.
you are 30. Okay.
Yep.
Stringer, are you going stealthily as well, or are you just following along? Or I know you're trying to help carry the body, but beyond that.
Yeah, hide, evade.
At this point, I'm looking for stealth. If that's what if you're trying to be.
Yeah, okay.
At this point, it's just a stealth. They haven't actually
I'm gonna
started.
use
They
mine.
are just kind of steering your direction. That's what you got right now. So right now, you're trying to disappear from their view. If they start coming
Okay.
after you, then it'll be hide and evade.
I'm going to use my 1 point to not fumble.
Wow. That's.
And I missed
Good.
fumbling by 1.
I see that.
Difference.
Okay. So Miss 31 is doing quite a good job of blending in and making use of a shadow here or there, or there's a crowd, 3 or 4 really drunk people being noisy and stuff, and you're able to skirt around them and then kind of hide in their shadow. Not literally their shadow, but you know, they're making lots of noise and making the scene over here, so you use that spot that people aren't looking at them, aren't going to see you, that kind of stuff. Stringer doesn't do that.
I just follow her lead on this one.
Okay, so yeah, as you're walking through the Stringer, somebody actually walks up, runs up to you and is like, Stringer, it's you! I've seen all your stuff. I've seen all your vids. I've seen all your shows. I'm the biggest fan. Because you rolled a 10 on your stealth. At least it wasn't a fumble. You did roll luck. You did roll a fumble. Or didn't fumble. So, somebody walks up and says that stuff. I'm going to go ahead. Let me see how I can do this. 'Cause I know what I'm thinking of I want to do. There's a big enough crowd here and stuff. I'm going to say you can go ahead and roll stealth one more time. Or no, hide and evade. Do you have hide and evade skill?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and roll hide and evade. Somebody is walking towards you. They're saying that. They're like pointing at you, but there's several people between you and them. So you have a chance to get away from them. I like that.
Okay.
That works.
I'll use my magic don't fumble point. Well, actually, because it's getting towards the end of the session.
You're going to be one of those, huh?
Yep.
No, it's okay. Okay. Well, that will do it. Okay. So yeah, somebody's doing that, and they're walking straight towards you, and then you're like, crap. And you're paying attention to what she's doing, and you take a few steps over here, and you guys kind of work together finally instead of working against each other. And around a corner, and that person, you can hear them. They're walking off in a different direction, going, Stringer, where'd she go, Stringer? I know you're over here. But they're walking in the wrong direction.
Yeah, Doc Ox, let's go.
Okay, so once you get out of the crowd, down the alley, nobody's gonna give a crap that you're carrying a body down toward the the known Ripper Doc down here.
Yeah, the doctor.
Okay, nobody's gonna care. If anybody does see you down here, it is very unlikely they're gonna do it.
It's a very easy talk off as well.
So yeah.
Oh, he had too much to drink and hit his head. We're taking him to see the doctor.
Right. So
Yeah.
all right. So you're carrying. Yeah, it's about that time, and I got. Kind
Oh,
of
for
behind,
Christ's
so I
sake.
gotta-
I've
That
just,
other
you know those
pop-up?
push notifications I've got? Yeah. I've just got one that comes up, start increasing sales, start sending web push notifications. Oh, fuck off.
Okay, so I just got a couple minutes. I got to run. So, yes, you will get him to Doc Ox. We will actually play you bringing them into and speaking to them here in a bit. I'll give you this. As you guys get nearer to Doc Ock, there is actually a line outside his door. People with head injuries, there's somebody limping, there's somebody bleeding pretty profusely. There's... Of course, there are 10 people. Another 10! There are 10 people in line outside Doc Ock.
We were going around the back door, weren't we?
Well,
Yeah, we were going to head for the back door. If he's got one.
I was going to say, let's see.
And when we get to the door, instead of ringing the buzzer, I'm going to call him. Tell him, you know those guys we were talking about, the ones that are walking around like automatons? We've grabbed one.
Okay.
And I'll also give him the warning that there's two, as I'm bringing a new friend.
That works. Okay. So, as you guys are approaching Doc Ock, you do see in his main entrance, there are a number of people, around 10, lined up, various types of injuries. Not hard to guess. There's a big crowd out here. People getting hurt. Somebody heard there was a dock nearby, so this is where they're going.
Anyone with a dart in his eye?
There is not one. There is a couple of people with, like, one with a hole bleeding from their forehead. Trying to hold whatever they got up against it. There is one that is like this, with some blood trickling down.
Yeah.
But no, you don't see any darts, no. Let's see. You start to call Doc Ock. As you call him, and he answers, he will say, he'll actually, yep, come around the back entrance. I'll send you the location, because you guys have always used the front door. I'll send you the location. Come on in the back door, before you even get the chance to hardly say anything.
Okay.
The doc says these things.
Yeah, we'll head for the back door.
So, he'll give you a location, and it's actually like the back door of a different building. He sends you some directions. You got to go in this spot, and then you go down this stairwell, and you go through the service tunnel for a couple hundred feet, and then you'll come back out in this place. And so
Cool.
You're doing that. You're on your way in there to bring him that. Along that route, you will pass. There will be 2 solos, both of which will let you pass, but they are pretty obviously guards.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got that. You're gonna get in there. We're not gonna do the conversation with him or anything right now. Party is still going on. There's lots of noise. There's lots of, even from down here in this basement in Doc Ock's. As you're approaching his office, his actual workshop, or whatever you want to call it, his clinic. There we go, his clinic. You can still hear the music. You can hear all of the ruckus coming from your block party, as the thousands and thousands and thousands of people, or at least 9,000, it seems.
Yep.
And that's where we're going to end for the night, for today.
Yep.
I start saying night because, most of my players, it's night.
Yeah, don't worry, it's night over here.
It's noon. It's right about noon where I am. But
it's 6 p.m. where I am, so. And where Marcellus is, it's like 10 p.m.
It's
so,
like 10.
yeah.
It's even later, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure what time it is for Vex.
Yeah, I don't know, but he's not here.
Right now. Yeah.
But all right. So anyway, that's where we are. That's where we're gonna end. You have one of the stiff-walking peoples that seem to have a hive mind of some sort, with some others unconscious, and you're carrying them in here. Doc Ock's with the lineup. There's the 9,000 plus 10,000. Who knows what it is now? Crowd all along the block with all the events going on, the party and the concert and stuff. And you have at the condos, you have somewhere you have your clothing for this evening's festivities after the party, or during the party. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, that's where we are. Thank you guys.
Cool.
It was fun.
Thank you. That was good. Enjoyed
It was
it.
a good one. We had a little bit of a slow start, but we got there.
Yep.
And your
Alright.
audio didn't stop working, so
I know.
there you go.
Well, I'm guessing that the audio problem really was that it is that USB hub. I didn't have a way to know for sure, but I would say that I've now confirmed that USB hub is having problems since it didn't cut out once. Okay. All right, guys. Have a good evenings.
Yeah.
And
You too.
if nothing else happens in between, I'll see you guys next week. Okay?
Yep.
Okay, we'll do.
All right.
See you next week.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you then.